Mississippi State, so Tennessee, bit of a wounded team walking in here looking to bounce back with a victory as well. Of course, the crowd's ready to go. Anticlimactic start. Let's jump this one up again. It's Russell Chiwa and Jonas Adu with a jump circle. Georgia's got it to start. They're in the home whites. Tennessee visiting in the bright orange.
An awkward catch there from Vescovi, catching it right there. Doesn't want to get a backcourt violation. And Georgia forces a unique turnover to start the game.
Dane, it's been a revamped Georgia roster. This is their starting five. Jabri Abdur-Rahim and Noah Thomason. They average both more than 12 points per game. They're the top two scorers and have been the most effective this year for the Bulldogs. And here is Thomason. The triple is short, gets his own miss, and so Georgia's got a new 20.
Thomason, guy that's very comfortable off the bounce. They'll set him ball screens, get him the rock. He can make contested jumpers.
It's a Georgia unit that has been very connected on this end of the floor. You could say their first couple wins in conference play. Time's running out. Thomason, this is just a heave. Well, he was on target. Sunahara got his hands on it. Stays here.
You gotta love that if you're Mike White. Maybe not the shot attempt, but the fact that you're gonna get your third opportunity against the nation's second best defense in the Tennessee Vols. Rare for Tennessee to give you that many opportunities.
Very rugged defense every year now under Rick Barnes. Georgia's not just won 10 straight, Dan. They've also been unblemished in this building. There's Abdur-Rahim. He has turned into a noted shooter in this league. It's 3-zip.
He will make you pay. Catch and stick guy playing some of the most confident basketball of his career.
It's a frenzied atmosphere for this Tennessee starting five. This is an atmosphere and an environment they are by no means unfamiliar with. That has been Rick Barnes' starting five just about all year. Zakai Ziegler starting the last 10 now, as you mentioned, returning from the ACL injury this season. Stays here with 6 on the timer.
You see the good closeouts by Georgia. You see the help defense. They don't have a lot of rim protection. Their ball side help is their rim protection to keep you out of the paint.
Yeah, Chiwa number 54, pardon. It's a 7-footer, not really a shot blocker. In the corner, here's Dalton Connect. That's Tennessee's most prolific scorer.
We talked about it with Mike White yesterday for Georgia. Tennessee is so good at getting those corner threes for Connect. They've got to keep an eye on Tennessee shooters and switch where they can.
Connect is averaging 16 a game, so he's just about top 10 in the league in his first season in Knoxville. Vescovi hounding Thomason. Thomason, though, gets into the paint. Tipped around. Tennessee's got it. Lead feed to Ziegler. Volunteers in a hurry. You got to respect that triple. Ziegler's been hitting it of late. Vescovi, not that time.
That's the shot Coach Barnes wants him to shoot, though. He's been a little bit too hesitant with some of the new additions for Tennessee. Defers too often at times.
Abdur-Rahim, he gets bumped. It's a foul on Tennessee.
Abdur-Rahim makes the three, and Dalton Connect able to answer again. The baseline out of bounds. Tennessee just so good with some of that screening action. And here's for Georgia. They run a lot of offense through 54. Chiwa, I mean, whether he's a screener, whether he's a passer, it's a 4-out, 1-in. Chiwa is not a pick and pop guy. They're not going to spread you out with 5 shooters, but man, is he effective all over the court in the half court for Georgia.
And came over from Central Florida, first year in Athens. Has it now. Extra pass to Thomason. Nope. Chiwa got his hands on it. Adu with his second rebound.
You see Meshack battling down there, undersized, but did just enough to create the rebound opportunity for Adu.
Well, you see the number 5 number next to Tennessee. Josiah Jordan-James misfires. It's got an excellent resume. 3 of its 4 losses to 3 top 10 ranked teams, and then the latest Wednesday against Mississippi State. Abdur-Rahim, he was asking for a little bit of a contact and a whistle. However, it's Tennessee back the other way.
Pretty good pace to this one, huh? I mean, both teams pretty excited to play, shooting early in the shot clock, being very opportunistic.
They've showed out today inside this building as well. Ready to possibly take down number 5 today. Would be their biggest win of the year. Ziegler goes behind the back, zips into the paint. 3 to shoot. This is Jemai Meshack. Yeah, turning into a more reliable shooter.
You nailed it. I mean, this is not a guy you necessarily have on the scouting report as a no-leave guy, but if he can make teams pay for sinking on penetration, especially against this strong Georgia help side defense, could be a long night.
So let's go back to Chiwa here. Look at how he just bulldozes down to the block.
Like I said, they run a lot of stuff through him. And good job by 54. And here's Ziegler, the leading assist man in the SEC, drawing 3 defenders. And then Demery with a late closeout on Meshack. Just well done by Ziegler. I mean, when you have to worry about the three-point shot, if you go under a ball screen, he's going to shoot it. If you go over, he's going to get to the paint, and always has his head up to make plays for others.
We talked about his scoring, but yeah, you're right. #1 in the league in assists, more than 5 a game. So Chiwa misfires at the line. Mike White, that's the 46-year-old from Dunedin, Florida. Chiwa, one of the many transfers he recruited out of the portal. You know, got some guys from winning programs. And he likes how this team has collectively played thus far.
Well, it takes one to know one, because he is a winner. And what Mike White has done with this Georgia team, when I watch them play, I'm not sure they're necessarily better at any position when they go up against marquee opponents, but collectively, man, do they hold their own. I mean, Tennessee 1 through 5, I think one-on-one you would take the Tennessee team, but you see how Georgia is able to compete collectively.
Silas Demery gets fouled, so he's going to the free throw line.
And here's a guy, Demery, who is unafraid. If I didn't tell you he was a freshman, you'd be guessing he was a junior or senior. Great size, a good rebounder, 6'5", 190. And ever since he stepped on the court, he's been ready to take on any opponent anywhere, and that's the type of swagger you have to have in this league.
Yeah, physically ready for this league. And today, though, certainly maybe his toughest assignment. It's a very good defensive team. Here's some of the notable freshmen, and they've made an impact. Demery, Blue Kane is going to get 15, 20 minutes off the bench. They have been very impactful in this Georgia rotation. And again, it's a Georgia team, Dane, that looked pretty impressive in their wins against Arkansas on Wednesday, and then the league opener at Missouri. Scored 75 in both of those wins.
Yeah, the confidence and turning point for this season to allow them to go on that win streak and believe they can win close games was the resiliency against Florida State early in this season.
Ziegler lets it fly. His first triple is off the mark. There's James, the KG veteran, runs it down. Connect! Buries another. That's his second triple in the early minutes.
Yeah, long shots, long rebounds, advantage Tennessee, and the quick rotation. Connect, always shot ready.
You know, he can go off, Danes. Went for 28 on Wednesday. Another 20-point game for the graduate transfer. Tennessee on the move after the Demery miss. Ziegler to Adu, the screen and roll.
A great scouting report by Tennessee. Georgia likes to hard hedge with the big man Chiwa, but he struggles to get back in time to the rim. Good find by Ziegler to Adu.
Justin Hill off the bench, gets rejected by Adu. He lined that one up. Now it's Connect. There's a whistle, lays it up and in, and count the basket. Connect is headed to the free throw line for one more. When we return,
how about Dalton Connect? One of the best scorers in recent memory for Tennessee. You see him from 3, and a superb athlete finishing through traffic, and 1 for 3 in orange.
Defense. Playing with the aforementioned Ziegler. You know, this core of veterans, including Vescovy, James, Meshack, Adu. I mean, they've been here for years now.
He was priority #1 in the offseason. When Tennessee lost to Florida Atlantic in the NCAA tournament, they knew they had to get more scoring, guys that could go get a bucket instead of just relying on those assisted makes I alluded to earlier, and Connect is that guy.
All right, so he's got 9 of Tennessee's first 14. And they are off to a flourishing start. R.J. Melendez sticks with it, fresh off the bench.
But that's Connect's weakness, too. He lets his guy in the paint and then doesn't box him out. There's no way Georgia should get a second opportunity there.
Connect gives it up. Pass was offline to Meshack, and then Meshack just got whistled for his second foul. That's 2 on the Tennessee junior.
Well, here's Georgia, who's been able to get some second chances early in this game, but there's Connect. He just stands and watches. I mean, you just can't do that if you're Tennessee. That's not Rick Barnes basketball. Melendez says, if you're not going to box me out, that's fine. I can make these easy twos.
And as Georgia wins against Mizzou and Arkansas, they took early leads, and they really never relinquished them. So they find themselves down 6 in the early minutes of this one.
But they have given up those leads, and the impressive thing is they don't get rattled. They don't let the crowd get to them one way or another.
That's Justin Hill. He's the senior from Houston off the bench, his second year in Athens. He's been very effective in the corner. Here's a triple from Jordan Gainey. Couldn't connect.
You mentioned Hill, 11 and White. He's playing the best basketball of his life for Mike White.
They call him the sixth starter, right? There he is.
Yeah, what a luxury it is to have a veteran point guard coming off the bench who can change the game for your team. To give you a feel for how good of a start he's had in SEC play, averaging 8 non-conference. As competition has increased in league play, he's got that up to 17 in his first 2 SEC games. So he's playing with a ton of confidence.
That's big. His second go-around, if you will, through the SEC gauntlet. Mike White commented that he's been here, done that before. That helps. The experience is always valuable.
Well, and getting that confidence. One thing Mike told us yesterday was, I think it took a while for him to realize like he belonged. I mean, this was a guy that was recruited by Longwood, no Power 5 type teams. And so when he got the opportunity, deferred a little bit, but now he's like, hey, you know what? I do belong, and I can survive in this league and also thrive.
Well, he's given Georgia 10 off the bench. A Georgia team that's got a couple of nice non-conference wins, one in particular against Wake. Again, this would be their statement and signature win of the season if they pull it out today. Good defensive effort there. There's another turnover for Tennessee.
Well, and here's why that's so important. This is a small lineup for Georgia. If you're Tennessee, you want to pound that rock inside because backup big man Jalen Deloach, 6'9", 220, a little bit more speedy on the perimeter of the Chihuahua, but you're giving up a lot down low in the post. So you got to make up for that with those active hands as they did just there.
Tennessee with a little pressure in the backcourt there. So it's been a while since Georgia was ahead of Tennessee in the standings at this point. Here's Deloach, goes right up. Adu might have got a piece of it. Impacts the release. Here comes Tennessee.
His timing as a shot blocker is elite.
Ziegler stuck. Throws it into the Georgia bench.
But I like that from Mike White in Georgia. As good as Ziegler is, small guy, double and blitz that ball screen and see if he can handle the trap. That time, Georgia is able to get what they want out of it. But if you can reverse it quicker, you got Adu down low on Blue Cane. So Tennessee just got to get out of that trap faster.
Justin Hill, couple of crossovers, puts it up, rebound down to Adu. Vescovy eyes up, directing traffic. Adu asking for it in the paint. Instead, here's James. Vescovy's got it, he triggers and hits a three.
And that's a shot I think he was turning down in the past few games. And you can tell it's a point of emphasis. Hey, we know you got a good ball fake, but the rest of the team is expecting you to shoot that. Vescovy does.
5th year in Knoxville for the Uruguayan. 2-time all-conference selection. Melendez offline on that floater. And again, Adu was shadowing him the whole way.
Some tough twos by Georgia that are creating transition opportunities as they're trying to get up off the floor.
Hill cut off the passing lane, but Ziegler takes advantage at the rim.
Well, no surprise that when you take bad shots on offense, your defense suffers. And so consecutive plays for Georgia where they're just trying to get up off the ground before they create the 5-on-4 opportunity, and Ziegler's not going to slow down for anybody. The reason Georgia's scrambling there is because of the missed shot on the other end.
So the foul on Deloach, allows for the three-point play opportunity for Ziegler. Tennessee has started 6 of 12 from the floor. Everybody is aware of its rugged, fierce defense over the last few years. This season, though, you were talking about it a few moments ago. They are much more efficient on the offensive end, scoring close to 80 a game.
They are, and one reason is because Zakai Ziegler gets a lot of minutes. I mean, he's been logging as many as 37 recently, so this is an important stretch right here. Freddie DeLeon, that hasn't played much for Tennessee, got a few minutes last game, has earned his spot back into the rotation. See if he can't get some minutes with Zakai Ziegler on the bench.
Well, Demery sheds him momentarily. DeLeon underneath, Georgia trying to find the mismatch. Instead, Demery takes it in. The layup, count it, and the foul.
Such a smart play by Demery. He drove the closeout. How about the freshman with a veteran IQ? Demery said, "You're going to close out with a big man on me? Forget about it. I'm attacking that."
Yeah, listen, he didn't skip his curls. Did not skip the curls. So Danny White has now been the athletic director at Tennessee for the last 3 years. He played a couple of years college basketball at Towson, later at Notre Dame. Yeah, Mike was a star at Ole Miss for 4 years, took Ole Miss to some of their greatest heights in program history. And the White siblings, the apple does not fall far from the tree because Dad Kevin was a longtime athletic director. It's not just Danny. Mike has several other siblings that are either athletic directors or working in athletic departments in college athletics. Pretty impressive.
They're the first family of college athletic departments. They're just impeccable reputations in the White family.
If I'm Mike, though, I mean, okay, I'm the head coach of the group, though. How about, you know? So there it is. There's the family. Mike has one other sibling, but he's got 3, Danny, Brian, and Mariah, that are working actively right now in college athletics.
Mike's enjoying it right now on a 10-game win streak, but when things don't go well in coaching, all of them are looking at you like, "We tried to tell you, bro." It's a roller coaster profession, but what a job he has done here at Georgia, at Florida, Louisiana Tech. And then certainly what Danny White has done to just revamp the Tennessee athletic department. Hey, they finished a record top 5th in the Learfield Cup. So it is an everything school right now at Tennessee.
Here's Blue Kane in the corner, can't hit the 3. So you're saying that even though there might be some heat from time to time on ADs, there's still no win-loss record.
That's right.
Attached to the athletic record. So this one's going to stay here with Tennessee. And Georgia was confused momentarily. Now everybody is set up. The Volunteers have an 8-point lead in the early goings of this one. Tennessee team that is 11-4 on the year. They've got number 5 ranking next to their name. Critical wins this season already at Wisconsin and against Illinois. Tobe Awaka just muscles up for a deuce.
He's the best offensive rebounder no one's talking about. He's got more offensive boards on the season than he does defensive. If he played enough minutes, he would rank 3rd in the country in offensive rebounding percentage. You see it right there.
Thomason drills a triple. Every shooter's favorite, the straight-on 3.
That's a couple times Awaka's had to be closing out on the perimeter, resulting in an and 1 for Georgia, and that time a made 3.
Here's Dillion. Can't answer. Blue Kane. Looks like he's whistled for the push there. So Vescovy went flying, the veteran. Gets the call there, so that's the first on Blue Kane, the freshman from Knoxville. Dane Chiwa back in now for Georgia. Deloach sits down.
I think Deloach did a really nice job. He fronted the post. They never let anything go easy in the paint there.
How about Awaka? Yeah, strength.
So how is that open? Why is that open? It's because Dalton Knecht was coming for another corner 3. They run this triangle action, sometimes opposite corner, ball side corner. You're so worried about that 3-point shooter, big man slips. That's 5 points on baseline out of bounds plays for Tennessee.
Silas Demery bounced off of him, almost wound up in the front row after the Chiwa miss. Dillion, the freshman, lost it. Awaka, 6 points, 3 straight baskets for the freshman from New York.
He is active, an absolute brick wall. Might as well call him the bodyguard, but he's learning how to play smarter as well.
It's a foul on. I said freshman. I'm so used to saying he's a freshman, a sophomore with the impact.
So worried about Knecht. 2 guys go on Knecht. They don't switch and get in front of Awaka and Vescovy. When you got one of your best passers taking the ball out, good things will happen. And Awaka just everywhere right now. Nobody happier with Awaka on that play than Dillion, who's come in as the backup point guard for Ziegler, needed to play error-free ball. That one was close, but Awaka had his back.
So after the Dillion foul, the freshman Silas Demery at the line for a 1-and-1.
Here's, I hate to keep going back to it, but with Ziegler, you just don't want him playing 35-plus minutes every single game. This is a long season, so for Tennessee not only to hold that lead, but extend upon it with Ziegler on the bench, I think is a real plus for Rick Barnes and this team.
SEC doubleheader, remember, later today over on ESPN. It is the 6th-ranked Kentucky Wildcats visiting Texas A&M in Aggieland at 2. Then Arkansas, Florida at 4. That's later today on ESPN. Kentucky is a problem for a lot of teams in this league.
Well, and they're outside of Kentucky, all three of those other teams, those are the best 0-2 conference teams you'll find. I mean, nobody's feeling sorry for you in league play. Those teams need a win badly.
Melendez, he has struggled all year from deep. Much better shooter than the numbers indicate. And that one's got to feel good.
Everybody's saying, why do you keep shooting threes? He's like, that's why. Just believe me, I got this.
He's got 6. And here it is.
18% on the year. Melendez is always going to take the bait, but James got out on a decent closeout. I think there's opportunities as teams play off Melendez. Look, I was a non-shooter, so I know how you can make that your advantage. If you play off of a non-shooter, it's a great opportunity to dribble handoff to one of your better players, create a 2-on-1.
Come on, man, assist to turnover. That's the most important. Connect, he's now into double figures with 11.
I mean, how much more can Connect do, especially on those baseline out-of-bounds plays? We've seen him as a shooter, as a screener, and that time he posts up the smaller defender, making Georgia pay for switching.
And Connect can go off. He's had 4 20-point games this year. Chiwa, jump hook, rebound down to Ziegler.
It's a good matchup for Adu.
And he's looking for Connect. Yeah, a little too far. Out of play.
We talked to Mike White yesterday about the concern for these baseline out-of-bounds. Look, he's going to get the switch. That's what he wants down low. And Tennessee, when you take one thing away, they're going to counter with another. And we've seen 3 different counters right there on that baseline, resulting really in the difference in this game.
Georgia's got Tennessee off balance here. Hill cut off, though, by Vescovy on this end.
I will say this, against Tennessee, as good as they've been on those baselines, Frank Martin used to do this a lot at South Carolina. Just play zone. Like zone up sometimes against that, because you got more men, obviously, defenders, than they got guys.
Hill misfires in the up and under. Went off of Chiwa's hands. Vescovy in a hurry with his eyes up. Dribbles into the paint. Connect, sets the feet. Got another. Dalton Connect with 14 of Tennessee's 33.
Well, you know Georgia likes to sink on penetration. They're a great help defense, and Vescovy, penetration kills. Connect says, that's all day. It's the 2018-19 team. So let's take a look back and remind everybody of that starting 5. I think Grant Williams on this Saturday might have just spit out his mimosa saying, come on, man, these guys can't compare to us. But I'm telling you, now that might have been a more talented team because of the All-American Grant Williams, who's probably going to have his jersey in the rafters at some point for Tennessee. But the way Tennessee shoots the ball, watch out. This could be a team that could finally break the Final Four curse for Tennessee.
Well, meanwhile, R.J. Melendez is starting to catch fire. He has a couple of triples and 9 points. But, I mean, you're right. That team kind of ran through the competition that season. Certainly had the capability of making a deep run. Ziegler for 3, answers.
Well, and this is unique for Georgia because they're typically winning the 3-point battle. They're holding teams low and shooting it well themselves. That's been a key for their 10-game win streak. But right now, Tennessee is on fire.
They're 6 of 11 from beyond the arc.
If you're Mike White, you say, guys, stick to the game plan. This is a Tennessee team that can go on some of those shooting droughts and miss their next 7 or 8 as well.
Oh, Vescovy nearly took it away from Thomason, and then he gets whistled for the foul. Went after the ball and really fell on top of Thomason. It's a second on Vescovy.
Here's Melendez again that came into the game 18% from 3, but now 2 of 2. And so he was certainly not a guy that you said, make him put it on the deck. And the most confident player in the SEC right now is Zakai Ziegler. Don't forget, he came off that ACL injury last year. A rusty start to this season, as you can imagine. Everybody knew he could be arguably the best 94-foot defender in the country, but now his offensive repertoire is increasing with that 3-point shot.
Does that not speak to his overall story arc, if you will? Yeah. Just a guy of resilience?
Absolutely. He's certainly the most beloved player I can ever remember in Tennessee history.
Hey, so on Sunday, Lady Vols are in action. There they are. They're that 5 Eastern game on ESPN tomorrow. They have started league play unbeaten, 3-0. Beforehand, we got a top 25 battle in the ACC. Virginia Tech and Florida State at 1. And then Angel Reese and the defending national champs in Auburn to take on the Tigers at 3. Will be a good one tomorrow, ESPN.
Georgia's got to get some consecutive stops here, because as this game gets into the high 70s, 80s, I do not think that's a game Georgia can win. They got to try to get this thing in the mid to high 60s.
Ziegler throws that one away. So Tennessee or Georgia rather, has done a decent job of turning over the balls. They've turned them over 7 times, but on the flip side, you're right. Tennessee shoot close to 60% from the floor. That is a scorching number after they went through some of those droughts in Starkville Wednesday.
Problem is, for Georgia, is they're not turning Tennessee over. They're not getting stops.
Sunahara back into the game.
You see the respect they have for Knoxville native Blue Kane. Daney was out there denying 0 and white. This is a freshman that has a ton of upside.
Kane's looking for it. Chiwa finds him. Late shot clock offense. He may have to hoist, or it's Hill rather for 3. Daney's got it. Melendez knocked it free momentarily, though it stays with the Vols. It feels like an important moment, to your point, in this game with 6:02 to go. By the way, student section bringing it today in Athens, as they have early in conference play this year.
The reorganization of the seating chart here in Athens has gone well for the Bulldogs.
Student section a little closer to the action. Kane on the drive, pulls up, the turn, down and out. Chiwa with the offensive board. Melendez, no. Nearly a 3rd chance for Georgia. Instead, James takes that one away from Sunahara. It's Tennessee's most reliable rebounder. And ball's in Ziegler's hands quite a bit today. James, the takeoff. Adu follow slam after a pretty miss. Adu cleans it up.
And rarely do you see James attack the basket, but good things can happen when he does, because that caused the 5-man to come, tried to block the shot, leaving Adu open for the putback.
This is Tennessee's largest lead of the afternoon. They're up 12. Ziegler, he is hounding Hill. Sunahara, a little indecisive to the big man. This is Chiwa up with the left, and Adu with some sturdy defense again. Connects on the move. Had it knocked away, regathers off the window, rebound to Sunahara. So Georgia maybe dodges a bullet there. It has been a cold shooting day from the field, that is, for the Dogs on this end. Melendez, backdoor cut, and the throwdown.
They love that cut from that side of the court. But man, I mean, they got to get back. Can't celebrate. Jeez.
That is quick. So 16 points now, Dan, for Connect. And he's scored efficiently. 6 of 9 from the floor. And that answer has been there for Tennessee.
But a terrific advance pass by Ziegler.
Ziegler just takes it away. Clowned on Hill for the layup. He was looking back at him on the way in for the bucket.
If there was any questions about him being possibly the best on-ball defender in the country, you saw it right there, because Hill is a good ball handler. That does not happen often to him.
Now you've got Gainey giving him some trouble. Gainey whistled for the foul. Zakai Ziegler, just like back in the day, take it from him and take it to the rim.
Yeah, I love this guy. He's gone from underdog to alpha dog and smiling all the way in for the easy 2. The negative Nancy. Come on, 57%, 50% from the 3-point line.
Oh, you got to have, you got to balance that pessimism.
They are dominating
and
the boards and everything. Yeah, you clean that up, though. He's not wrong. But I think that's going to be Rick Barnes' halftime speech. But Sean is spot on with Dalton Connect. And what I love about Dalton Connect is he's been at his best against the best. And, oh, by the way, on the road.
Sure.
At Chapel Hill, where he put up a tying record, 37 points before that ankle injury. On the road at Mississippi State, goes to work down there despite the loss. And then here we are, 16 points in front of a packed house at Athens, Georgia. That guy is unfazed by the environment.
24 in the Kohl Center, win against Wisconsin. I mean, what has impressed you most about, he comes over from Northern Colorado. What's impressed you most just about the demeanor?
And a 3-level score offensively. You really can't tell if he's playing good or bad with his demeanor, which is a compliment.
Blue Kane, the Knoxville native, tap back in by Deloach, and so Georgia needed these buckets.
Well, and that's going back to the turnover bug for Negative Nancy in the studio. He was right. So that's 8 of them that has kept Georgia in this game.
Yeah, that's too many. Tennessee has been actually done a very good job this year of limiting the turnovers, so they're nearly at their season average. We're not done with the first. James rises. That was in range, just a bit long. Rebound down to Melendez, who has played some fine minutes in this first half.
Well, as big as these 3 minutes are for Georgia, they are for Tennessee too. I mean, you do not want the Bulldogs to go in with any momentum, have this crowd get brought back to life. Other than the turnovers, played a really good game offensively.
There's a careless giveaway. Dillion, that one at least impacted by Demery, stays here with Tennessee.
So Dillion has come in, given them good minutes as backup point guard. Unlike some of the other players on the roster, he's a drive-first guy as opposed to a shoot-first from 3. And I think that's okay. As much as you want to spread out with shooters, Tennessee relies on that three-point line a little too often. So having a guy that likes to attack the basket first could be a good mix.
That is a clean block. So the first block for Georgia, and it's from Silas Demery, North Carolina native.
Georgia's got to guard this baseline out of bounds. And Tennessee has dominated this.
Deloach got a piece of it, Dane. Yep.
But that's with Dalton Connect on the bench, too. It just shows you the value of having your best scorer as your screener in those situations.
Demery high off the glass, just a bit too much that time. James affected the shot. Ziegler with his eyes up, pulls the triple, misses everything. A nice contest that time, and now Georgia on the go. Melendez left it short. So back and forth we go. Who wants to convert?
Yeah.
Owaka lost it. As he was starting to gather, would have had a clear throwdown, but instead, Georgia ball.
Well, that's about as sloppy as Tennessee can look. You turn it over on the baseline out of bounds. You turn it over, or you shoot an air ball, and then this time, hit your big man. A lot of times you don't want to hit the 5-man too far away from the basket, but that's when Owaka should be able to take one dribble and cram it home, as Tennessee had a 5-on-3 there. Come out with a turnover.
So Georgia shooting just 28% from the floor, Day, and that's it. Again, they have a chance to get it back to single digits. What's helped them is, as we mentioned, the turnovers. They've also done a fine job of getting to the line. They're 10 of 13.
Well, this is a Georgia team during their 10-game win streak that has proven to not get rattled at all, good or bad. I mean, this team either is able to maintain their lead, or if they get down, they stay very poised.
It's been a quiet first half for Abdur Rahim. He's back on the floor, number 1 in the white. Demery, drive and kick to Melendez. Rebound down to Connect. So Connect back out there with 16 first half points. Ziegler got his man in the air. Zigs, zags, now Gainey. And he draws the foul on Demery, so that's just the 6th on Georgia. And Tennessee will inbound it underneath the hoop.
Gainey's the guy that turned that one down. Good pump fake, but he got off to such a good start. Maui invitation, super aggressive transfer. USC Upstate that can really shoot the ball, but it has not gotten in a good rhythm offensively lately. 2 and Orange could be one of those big-time scorers off the bench for Tennessee. They got to get him going.
Tennessee aiming to bounce back from the loss on Wednesday. They've been a top 10 team for much of the year. Very impressive wins. And trying to take care of business on the road. James misfires from deep. Another rebound for Blue Kane. He's got a couple. And just a few minutes in this first half. Thomason to Kane. Fires. Yeah! Blue Kane for 3. Back to a 7-point game.
This kid is a baller. Ever since he stepped on the court, even in their first game against Oregon, you'd think a freshman would be scared. Not the Knoxville native. Blue Kane is ready for the SEC. With a name like Blue Kane, you better deliver. Zero and White says, I grew up watching Connect. He's there with the hand up, and that's a deep 3, so contested 3. But what makes Blue Kane dangerous is, yeah, he can shoot the 3, but he's pretty good off the bounce too. And will go at the rim aggressively, so a tough cover. A huge answer by Georgia. You thought this game was starting to get away from him.
Georgia has gotten Tennessee in some foul trouble in this half, and so Abdur-Rahim has a pair on the other end.
Good job by Abdur-Rahim going against one of the best offensive rebounders in the country, being extremely physical. And Rick Barnes is going to be very frustrated with the way Tennessee has closed out this first half. The turnovers, the quick shots. And it's not that he doesn't want them taking open threes, but man, when they're doing quick ones before a paint touch, that can really negatively impact their efficiency.
Well, there you go. That's going to lead to a 7-0 run when you miss 5 in a row. Later tonight on the SEC Network, so if you're interested in some more SEC hoops, we have got the 16th ranked Auburn Tigers in act. Tigers and Tigers tonight at 6. Mike Morgan and Mark Wise on the call. So Auburn has looked impressive in its first 2 wins in league play.
To say the least, Janai Broome holding it down in the paint, but going 10 deep. LSU's got some life, though. Matt McMahon's got Jalen Cook at the point. They're a different team.
How about this place now? James wide open, lets it fly, can't hit. Adu with a strong board, using that wingspan to rip it down over Kane. About an 11-second differential between shot and game clock.
You want to clear out here and make the big man guard Dalton Connect in space.
Mismatch, Connect, crossover to Ziegler, puts it up. Rebound down to Chiwa. And so Georgia's got time, 11 seconds. Hill behind the back, gets into the paint. Back out to Thomason, 4 seconds. Thomason fires. That's long, tapped, buzzer sounds. How about Georgia ending the half on a 9-0 run? And it is within 5. Look at a takedown number 5 this afternoon. Let's go to the guys in the studio. Here's Zubin. Run, so that was a nice surge. And look at the bottom bullet.
Yeah.
Scoreless in the final 4:01. Again, that was immediately on the heels of taking a 14-point lead. They lost it.
And Tennessee started off 6 of 12 from 3. And we talked about, if you're Mike White, tell your team, trust the scouting report. Tennessee can go cold. To end that half, they were 0 of 6 from 3.
Jabri Abdur-Rahim buries his first triple of the afternoon. One of Georgia's leading scorers, maybe sparks at the right time. Ziegler can't answer for the Vols on this end, and you just saw there at the bottom the shooting woes of late for this Tennessee team. Now Thomason, yeah! Georgia takes a lead!
I don't think you can go under the ball screen that deep on the arc. Thomason will make you pay.
Timeout, Tennessee. Let's update things. 15-0 run.
Well, and part of Georgia's reason for success is they've won the three-point battle. They're starting off defending the 3 now in the second half, and they're starting off making the 3 in the second half. Thomason, the transfer, and Tennessee team. This goes back really throughout the past couple seasons, but in SEC play, they were ice cold in the first half against Ole Miss. They heated it up in the second half. Ice cold first half against Mississippi State. Heated it up. They were shooting well in the first half. Now they're having that drought again. So when can Tennessee's offense not be so feast or famine? I like the drive by James there to not put so much pressure on the three-point shot.
Yeah, maybe attacking the rim. That's Josiah Jordan James's first basket tonight. But I want to go back to a point and underscore it. You said Mike White's team, maybe midway mark of that first, stick with the game plan.
Yeah.
What did you mean by that?
Yeah. Keep daring Tennessee to beat you from 3, take away the drives, and contest on the perimeter. And this is a Georgia team that's top 30 in the country at defending the 3, so it is certainly a strength of theirs starting to pay off right now in this game.
And they're converting from deep, too. They've made 7 from beyond the arc on the other end of the floor. Possession stays with Tennessee on this side. So this...
Adu has been relatively quiet. I mean, that's kind of the game within the game. We talked a lot about the three-point shot, but Chiwa has done a really nice job, as has Deloach. Because in this game, I certainly felt like coming into it, Tennessee had the advantage in the post. It was Tennessee's 5s versus Georgia's 5s. And here's a way to get Chiwa having to defend the ball a little better. I think that's been better action for Adu than the traditional post-up we saw on the previous attempt.
So that's the first foul on Abdur-Rahim. And so, yes, that's Adu's first point of the night. Pardon me, he had 4 in the first half, so he's got 5. However, you just saw he's got 9 rebounds and 3 blocks as well, so quiet offensively. He's done some good work on the defensive side.
But that's right there is the balance Tennessee needs a little bit more of. And Tennessee really hasn't had that consistently to go deep down in the post since the Grant Williams days. I think they can post up, connect a little bit more. When you look back a year ago, it was Kamwa who was inconsistent. They've got to find that if they want to make a deep run.
Speaking of post up, Chiwa going with the offhand, and James soars in for the rebound. Tennessee in a hurry. James turns down the 3, over to connect. Wing drive, layup, bounced out. Looked like it was about to settle on the rim and fall through. Instead, Georgia back the other way. Remember, winners of 10 in a row. It's their longest win streak in more than 75 years. And they're trying to start 3-0 in SEC play. Abdur Rahim, that's a difficult look. Challenged. Vescovi bothered by the foul call. Abdur Rahim has 3 free throws.
We'll take a look at it here. Vescovi, I thought, did a pretty good job of not biting too much on this pump fake. Yeah, I don't see it there. I think that's a tough angle for the official to see it on the wrist.
So I think Jason Baker motioned to Chuck Jones, one of his other officials. They're going to go to the monitor, make sure that Abdur Rahim's feet were behind the line. It looks like they're going to take a peek.
That's exactly right.
Whether or not, yeah, this one's a 3 or a 2 at the line.
Yeah, as much as Tennessee fans want to review the foul.
The previous play is under review for a 3-point shot or a 2-point shot.
Well, I love that, by the way, the
yeah.
clarity that's now in place here for some of these elevated games. And so there's Doug Schau's letting you know exactly what's happening.
Yeah, he's asking for a bump and pay. Like, hey, look, if I got to be on live TV as a commentator as well, what's up? So, yeah, it's going to be a clear 2-point shot there. But Abdur Rahim, this is a guy, when he pumps fakes, he's not going to the basket. He's a sidestep guy. He wants to go to that 3-point line. And early in the first half, he wanted one of those. It was a transition 3. He flailed his arms a little bit, didn't get the call. So that's what good shooters do.
It's been confirmed as a 2-point shot. We'll shoot 2 free throws and resume play from there.
Boy, can you imagine the bump and pay when we get that camera over there to show the face? Let me tell you.
That is a great feature. Well done by Doug Schau's. But Vescovi, I think, has a right to be frustrated.
Yeah, I didn't see much either. And it's going to be the 2. Again, though, we certainly have a very reliable crew today. Doug, Chuck Jones, Jason Baker. So Vescovi is going to have to wear this one. Yeah, Jabri Abdur Rahim. Danny leads the SEC in free throw shooting this year. This is one of the best career averages or career percentages in program history. Better than Dad's career free throw percentage. That's the only thing he's got him on, though. Here's the doubleheader later today on ESPN. Kentucky scoring more than 90 points per game in College Station. So can the Aggies keep up with one of the most electric offenses in the nation? And then Florida and Arkansas follows at 2.
A trio of 0-2 starts for SEC play on those teams outside of Kentucky.
He connects. We've heard that one before. So Tennessee back up by 4.
Well, and Rick Barnes' message to his team has continued to be, don't lose confidence shooting the ball. Take good shots. And Connect did right there.
That's his 4th triple of the day. He's 4 of 5 from deep. Abdur Rahim flexing like Dad.
Well, that's a contested shot, but when it's 6'8" against 5'9", you can get a clean look, especially with that super high release that Abdur Rahim has.
He's got 8 quick ones, Dane, after halftime, so 13 points now. He's above his season average. Ziegler, great drop-off pass to James, and he walked with it.
Well, a couple of back-to-back threes in this one. Dalton Connect is a guy that you just have to stay connected to, and for whatever reason, Georgia starts staring at the ball, does not follow, and then here's Abdur Rahim that says, hey, usually you say mouse in the house on the inside. On the perimeter, he had an opportunity for an advantage there.
He's blossomed. Yeah, he's blossomed this year, the senior from New Jersey. averaging a career high in basically everything. Minutes, points, field goal percentage. Chila saw him cutting. That's a great look from the big Abdur-Rahim. Got hacked on the play, and he's going back to the free throw line.
Such a smart cut by Abdur-Rahim. Everybody knows that he wants the three-point line, and Mike White does a great back cut here. Abdur-Rahim says, you take that away, I'm going down here, and he's an excellent free throw shooter.
Watch the contact.
Yep.
Dane, this is something our officials are going to go to the monitor and review.
The previous foul is being reviewed.
Oh! Based on precedent, yeah, we may see something get upgraded here, no?
Yeah, especially above the head and neck area. I would not be surprised at all for them to upgrade this to a flagrant because of the excessive contact there. The basketball play going for the block initially, but the follow through and the elbow to head contact, I think, could result in an upgrade.
Just watch the motion of James's left arm. Bang.
Yeah. Because typically, James he mistimed it a little bit. He knew he was in trouble. He went in the air, and so as he was coming down, he didn't want to give an easy two. And again, I think that's going to be excessive.
So here comes Doug Shouse's ruling.
Review, we have a flagrant 1 on Tennessee, number 30. Number 1 will shoot 2 free throws, and will receive the ball on the baseline.
I just want to underscore your word excessive there. We certainly know Josiah clearly wasn't intentional. Yeah, and Chuck Jones just came by. So Chuck Jones again just said excessive to the head or neck area.
Yeah, I think the bigger picture for Tennessee right now is Josiah Jordan-James, a veteran you can lean on. Got a little too aggressive on that play, but just Tennessee's been a little bit out of character in this one. You go back to the way they closed out that first half.
Their 14-point lead all but evaporated. Timeout in Athens. Jabri Abdur-Rahim at the free throw line after the prior foul was upgraded to a flagrant 1, excessive force from Josiah Jordan-James as he was attempting to block the Jabri layup. So James takes a seat, and Georgia is back in front just by a fraction there. Dane from 14 down to now back ahead. And a big reason for the spark, Jabri Abdur-Rahim, a great start to the second half.
Not just on the court, but in the locker room. He's done a terrific job in the offseason with his player development, all types of leadership councils and things of that nature. And you see it there.
Oh!
Wow. Tennessee getting a taste of their own medicine, giving up a corner 3 on the baseline out of bounds pass. And how about this home court advantage that Mike White has built here in Athens?
$13 of those 18 after halftime. Georgia with its largest lead of the day. It's only a 4-point edge, but it's the biggest one. Connect, can't answer. Awaka got his hands on it, and Jabri Abdur-Rahim comes down with it. Georgia's won 10 in a row with some momentum and with a 4-point lead. Thomason couldn't hit. And they are looking for a statement win in the early goings of conference play. Ziegler trying to shake Thomason. Now it's Connect on the pull-up, yes.
That's why people say he's a pro. I mean, to just dribble with your left here, cool, calm, collected pull-up jumper, big-time shot on the road.
It's now his 5th 20-point game of the year. And he's 8 of 13 from the floor.
Here's Abdur-Rahim that just fakes the screen, and then when you do that sort of ghost screen, it confuses the defense. They don't know who's taking who, and then Connect here just rises up. I mean, that's what he was brought to Tennessee to do. When they're struggling offensively, who can go get you a bucket? More times than not, they put the ball in Three's hands.
Apropos, those two are side by side right now. How about their ascensions? And Connect, a junior college player out of high school. He had a late growth spurt. There's a nice drive. Hill couldn't finish. Lead feed to Connect.
Uncharacteristic blow by, though. I mean, this is the number 2 ranked defense in the country is Tennessee, and Georgia right now giving them fits.
Ziegler went with the teardrop.
Well, as good as Ziegler's been, you have to point out he had 6 turnovers in that first half. Your point guard must take care of the basketball to be almost flawless in this second half to win on the road.
Into double figures now, and got 5 assists, but as you mentioned, the 6 turnovers. Melendez, the drive, another blow-by, and another basket.
Yeah, I mean, the thing you love about Tennessee's defense is they guard their own. You can never get them in rotations, but right now, just struggling to stay in front of the ball and locate shooters quick.
So Jordan Gainey sits down at the scorer's table. He's ready to come in.
Tennessee's pretty big right now, too. That's another problem. I mean, rarely do you see Adu and Awaka in at the same time.
Connect, feeling it, left that one short. And Abdur-Rahim comes down with another board. He's got 3.
You got to push. You got the advantage.
Hill going to the free throw line. And they did just that.
It's making Tennessee scramble. I mean, right now you've got 2 good perimeter defenders, Meshack and Ziegler. Connect, not his strength. Awaka having to guard outside on the perimeter, and then they do. So the faster Georgia team has been taking advantage of this unique lineup for Tennessee.
Well, and hasn't that been a strength for Georgia, especially in their 2 SEC wins? Guards getting into the paint and making plays.
Absolutely. I think they've had really good penetration. Again, how about Hill, who's just 1 of 6, but they don't have this win streak and this 2-0 start in SEC play without him. Averaging 17 in his first 2 SEC games compared to just 8 in the non-conference. He is ready for SEC play.
Mike White and his teammates, they call him the 6th starter. He logs some heavy minutes, plays nearly 25 minutes per game off the bench. He has been critical to the success.
And so see if they can't get Adu the ball some down here. But keep an eye on 23 DeLoach on the other end of the court. Undersized, but he is not going to just sit behind Adu. He is going to front the post, make passes and catches difficult. Feisty Georgia defense.
An intense one at Stegman Coliseum. Still early in conference play. These 2 are battling.
Check out 23.
Meshack, he's wide open. They left him, and he could not stick it.
Yeah, DeLoach can't do any better than that. Front the post, deny it, and then get around, box out.
Well, he's been complimentary of his D all day. There's Hill into the paint once again. Now he's caught. Adu trying to jar it away. Melendez bails him out. Melendez, he's got the smaller Ziegler, barging into him, puts it up, trying to tap it back in, and connect down with it.
Most 5'9" guys need a double team. But then there's Sakai Ziegler.
Another turnover. Georgia scrambling. Tennessee gets back. Thomason lays it up. Bounces through. Rolled around twice. And is that a loose basketball? We had a whistle.
I think it got batted after the made bucket.
Okay.
I mean, you're right. This penetration by the Georgia guards.
Ziegler gets fouled by Abdur-Rahim, and he's going to the free throw line. That's a second on Jabri.
Georgia's really good off the bounce. I mean, and this is a left-hand player that you're saying, go right, go right, go right. But Thomason's so good at saying, I'll make you think I'm going right, but I'm still going back to that strong hand. Look at this here. Cut him off, pivot. Gets to where he wants to go. Just good physical play by Georgia. Right now, Rick Barnes says, you know what? Josiah Jordan-James, Vescovy, you're our veteran leaders for a reason. Get in the game, make this right. He was so hard on them after that loss at Mississippi State, expecting more from these upperclassmen. See if 30 and 25 can't give them a boost as they face adversity on the road here.
Georgia with its largest lead. Dane, Thomason, Hill. Well, these are transfers from Niagara, from Longwood, respectively, but they've got physical bodies, they're older, and they just look fearless attacking Tennessee.
They've got an identity, that's for sure, and they've got the confidence to withstand anything, and the resiliency they've shown on this 10-game win streak.
Vescovy just checked in. Demery, oh, vicious throwdown! Demery all the way to the rack. Connect comes back the other way, and then he draws the foul. If this crowd needed anything else to spark it, yeah, they'll tell you the tale.
The fearless freshman Demery takes them off the bounce.
In a lot of ways, one of the newcomers to this Georgia team. So Georgia up 7
And we started this game talking about, I don't know that Georgia's better at any position 1 through 5. But collectively, man, are they connected, and you see it right there. They've made their adjustments on that baseline out of bounds defense. And it's a Tennessee team that's rattled right now despite being a very experienced squad.
Here are some of these transfers that, to your point, have blended. They have meshed. Again, they've won 12 games. They're 2-0 in league play. It's guys like Thomason from a winning Niagara program. R.J. Sunahara, how about the Division II transfer, won a national title last year?
That's not the Nova Wildcats, that's the Nova Sharks. But you know what, they most of them have in common, they've won before. In D2, 36-0, Player of the Year title. These guys have winning DNA, and they brought it together.
Mike White said this week after the 2-0 start, we are playing with a great deal of confidence. That can be dangerous. James would not be denied that time.
And I think Tennessee must do more of that. If there's a weakness for Georgia's defense, it's the defensive glass. Inside shots lead to inside rebounds.
Ball fake, Kane, and that one slapped away. Lucky that that one wasn't turned over. That was an aggressive drive by Hill there to find Kane, but he could not get a clean shot off. And so the 5 out there, being outside of Hill, who was here last year. And these are your newcomers. Deloach pardon, from VCU, Melendez, Illinois, Kane, the freshman. Knocked out, stays here with 9 to shoot.
But even that, though, I mean, these guards are so quick that those are some gambles right now, and reaches from behind. And this Tennessee team, if they want to come back and get their offense going, it's got to be complementary basketball. It's been a long time since they've been able to get consecutive stops.
Once up 14, Tennessee now down on the road. Adu with his 4th block. Deloach gathers it. Demery, 1 extra pass. He gets it back. Head fake, 3 in the air. That's pure! And a little shimmy post play. Georgia has ignited from deep. They're 5 of 7 from the perimeter in the second half and have taken their largest lead of the afternoon. Vescovi, no, could not answer. And Melendez down with another board. And they're quick to push. Now Melendez, pump fake, back out to Kane. He's the shooter, rises. Knocked out. Tennessee basketball with 10:08 to go. How about the freshman days?
Well, it starts with Deloach collecting that 50-50 ball off of a big-time block by Adu, and then all of a sudden Tennessee is scrambling. And how about the shimmy? Man, we talked about him being a confident freshman. You see it there.
You ever do one of those, but he learned that from you?
Yeah. Didn't pull it off. I knew my strengths and weaknesses.
So Georgia,
give me a few drinks, and then all of a sudden I feel like a better dancer. But
oh man, maybe a Chuck's here in Athens, not on the court. 8-point lead though.
By the way, speaking of droughts that got broken, I was going on a nice dry January until you invited me out last night.
I wasn't going to rat you out. Told on yourself there. Georgia showing quite a bit of willpower. Maybe you could take a page out of their book, and they're going for their 11th straight win. Again, Dave, look at the bottom. They haven't won 10 in a row since the 47-48 season. It's been a long time, and these are not necessarily empty calories either.
Yeah.
Ball's going to stay here with Tennessee. Dane, it's wins against Arkansas and on the road at Missouri to start conference play. Also a comeback win at Florida State. They beat Georgia Tech. Heck, they got 3 wins against the ACC already.
But this one would be different.
Yeah.
If there's any knock on Georgia right now, it's not that they're not winning games, it's who they're beating. And they don't have any quad 1 games on their net ranking right now, this being their first. So this is a massive opportunity for Mike White.
Longest win streak for a power conference program.
When you think about the job Mike White has done, at Florida he inherited a winning tradition, but not necessarily a winning roster. He had to rebuild after Billy Donovan left, and he had to do the same thing here at Georgia.
Adu can't find the touch. Rebounded Demery. Georgia in a hurry again. Thomason to the rim. Lays it up and off the window and down. Adu is on the floor and in quite a bit of discomfort after falling. But he's able to pop back up. Wow, they are just in attack mode right now.
I've not seen Tennessee's perimeter defense struggle this much on closeout since the North Carolina game. That first half of the North Carolina game when the Tar Heels really stunned Tennessee with the speed. And you see the way Georgia's Adu takes a scary fall there, but gets up on his own. Georgia is just attacking these closeouts with no hesitation. And this goes all goes back to the way Tennessee closed out that first half. They had a chance for a knockout blow. They got sloppy.
Look at the field goal percentage, second half. Georgia's totally ignited. Possession stays here. Number 5 in the nation with, mind you, a lot of time left in this half, is down 10.
It's gut check time for Tennessee. I mean, this is why you build a roster with the character, culture, and veterans that Rick Barnes has, is to handle this on the road. Right now, they are not in any sort of rhythm.
And so that's the first foul on R.J. Melendez. But on the heels of their SEC opening win, talk about a statement win over previously 22nd ranked Ole Miss. They beat them by 27. They have found themselves down by double digits in back-to-back SEC games. Connect, that's pretty.
They've gotten that a couple times where they know they've got an advantage in the post for Connect. And he's a guy, when you're struggling to find out who is our guy we can post up down low, they did that with Admiral Schofield back in the day, where it might not be down deep on the block, but even 10 feet and in is a good look.
Meanwhile, Georgia back to work. Abdur Rahim left that one way short.
Yeah, don't love that one. He's played a really good second half.
So now Connect. Gives it up to James. Surveying, lost it, and then he fouls Demery.
Boy, that's a big swing there because James saw Adu cutting to the basket. That's a dunk for Adu. And James loses the ball, turns into a turnover. Watch Adu all alone under the basket. James is ready to hit him for 2. And just the active hands. I mean, this Georgia team is just somebody you hate to play against. They're just like gnats everywhere you go.
And so 14 turnovers now for Tennessee compared to Georgia's 3. That's been the great equalizer. Turnover though, Connect to the basket, missed it. So now numbers for Georgia. Connect is still down, he's on the way back. Thomason pulls it, puts it in! Connect rises and lays it up and in.
He is really explosive off that 1 foot, and with the way the rule changes now, the block charge really in favor of the offense. You're smart to go attack off of 1 foot.
Yeah, Dalton Connect now with 25. This is his 5th 20-point game of the year. In a way, keeping Tennessee single-handedly in this one. Chiwa open, Adu recovers. Chiwa lost it, 4 to shoot. Thomason, yeah, a little indecisive there, and so some steps leads to the turnover. Tennessee down 9. Noah Thomason, though, look out.
Yeah, a 5-point swing after the Connect missed layup, and then Thomason capitalizes on the 4-on-5. Confident Bulldogs.
Beat down, they got to show up today against Wake.
Win from Salem on the way, fellas.
Great college basketball Saturday. As always, welcome back to Athens, where Georgia is looking to make a statement at home. Winners of 10 in a row, and on the heels of a 2-0 league start. However, Zakai Ziegler and Tennessee, as you know, have other ideas.
When the going gets tough, the tough get going, and nobody tougher than that guy right there. And Rick Barnes challenged his team. He goes, guys, we got to have more people getting to the free throw line than Zakai Ziegler. A trend they have not been able to correct in this one. But that's one way to claw back into this game, slow it down, get a little bit sloppier because Georgia's in such a rhythm.
Again, another drive into the paint. Abdur-Rahim gets Ziegler in the air. Bucket!
It's just the constant penetration. Tennessee is constantly in rotation, something you rarely say about their half-court defense.
Connect draws the foul. Yeah, on the other end, though, Abdur-Rahim with another 20-point game.
Well, it all starts with a scramble drill here. I mean, you're flying at a shooter, you're trying to take it away. Abdur-Rahim is so calm on that perimeter. Again, his pump fake is not to go for two, it's to move to that three-point line. And he is playing the best basketball of his career.
Yeah, with Dad in the house, he's always here every once in a while. Former Georgia Mr. Basketball twice before that great NBA career.
He was phenomenal, and one of the best throwback jerseys out there with the Vancouver Grizzlies as well. One of the most skilled guys on the perimeter before tall guards were really a common thing. You know, Sharif Abdur-Rahim was one of those guys that could do it all on the perimeter.
It's the color scheme, man. I mean, let's get a little more teal.
Oh, yeah.
Making sure I'm up on my colors. Ziegler to the rim. Trust the foul.
So that's three straight, put your head down and go type drive for Tennessee. 2 by Ziegler, 1 by Connect. Getting to the line. You can tell Rick Barnes has said, guys, quit swinging this thing on the perimeter. We're going to win this game in the paint and at the stripe. Good hesitation there. Really straight up by both Georgia defenders. They got him low.
Speaking of other teams in green, Monday night, what we got, Dane?
Oh, I was built for this. Georgia fans, I know you feel me with all those Philly dogs you got up there. I don't know what you got on that promo, but all I know is it's a bad forecast in Tampa, but as Jalen said, rain, sleet, or snow, these Eagles trained to go, baby. Bird gang, let's go.
Remember, the MegaCast coverage also includes the Peyton and Eli on ESPN2. Here we go. We got a little Browns representation in the house. Boy, these Browns fans, they're more shaken than Eagles fans these days.
Yeah, I'm just an Eagles fan in denial. We need a clean slate. No A.J. Brown, no problem. We're about to get back on the right track. When I say we, it's because I'm a part of that team.
Yeah, never run into a confident Browns fan. They're always assuming the worst.
Speaking of NFL news, congrats to VFL Gerard Mayo being named head coach of the Patriots at a young age of 37. Awesome guy. Was around while I was at Tennessee. No surprise at his success.
Wild card weekend starts today. Blue Cane buries another. Georgia has exploded from beyond the arc in this second half. 13 now and counting. Made threes. Adu lays that one up and in.
Tennessee getting where they want to offensively, but it's all for naught if they can't come up with some stops on the defensive end. Again, to remind viewers, this is rated as the #2 defense in the country, and Georgia is having their way.
Oh, don't do it. That was Justin Hill. By the way, Dave, the 13 triples, that is a new season high for Georgia. On the heels of a pretty good shooting day beyond the arc in the win against Arkansas Wednesday. They hit 9 times from deep.
They proved me wrong. I did not think they wanted this game to be in the 80s. I didn't think they could score that much with this good of a Tennessee defense, but the way Tennessee is having to rotate and scramble and the confidence of guys like Blue Cane and Demery, I mean, these are freshmen. How exciting is that to see some of these newcomers, especially the young guys, get this sort of experience and be ready for the challenge. Anytime you have the versatility of a ponytail and a man bun, you know you're a problem.
I think you don't lack confidence.
Yeah, you better be able to play if you're going to rock that.
Dane, it's back to an 8-point game. However, there's 5:40 to go. I remember mentioning maybe the 10, 11, 12-minute mark. Tennessee found itself down 10. They really haven't yet chipped away at that. It's still Georgia keeping them at arm's length away.
Yeah, and one of the hardest parts about pulling off an upset is the close. If you're Georgia, and that's the problem. You give up. Yeah, you cannot give up an offensive rebound off a missed free throw. Inexcusable. You got inside position. Tennessee taps it around, and Vescovy, who they desperately need to be more aggressive and come to life. It's a big play right here.
How about Adu?
Yeah, just staying active. This is Georgia's smaller lineup, so they give up a bunch of size without Chiwa out there. And Adu doing so many of the little things.
Adu, who is Tennessee's leading rebounder, one of the best in the league, now has 13 on the afternoon. I don't think a timeout was called. We just had our cleanup crew come by to try to wipe up a wet spot near half court. And so as coaches go, they will try to bargain for any sort of timeout, even though there isn't a timeout.
Mike White had one of the all-time savvy moves. When the coaches can ask for a review, it was clearly going to be his team's ball. And he asked for a review anyway. They said, no, you get the ball. He's like, yeah, I know. I want it reviewed. I'm out of timeout.
Well, by the way, Mike White's team has lost that double-digit lead. It's a 5-point advantage, but Tennessee capitalizing on the offensive rebound. They buried the three. Georgia back on this end. Melendez, another drive. Chiwa got his hands on it. Kane goes after it and recovers. New 20 for Georgia. Justin Hill to Kane. He's hit twice from deep. Another three! Blue Kane is flexing on his hometown team.
Remember the throwback football movie, The Program? Kane is able as the promo?
I didn't know you were going biblical.
Yeah. Blue Kane is ready, man. I mean, and he's been this way all season long. He started off hot against Oregon, been that 6th, 7th man, 20 minutes a game. That's a lot in the SEC as a freshman, and you can tell with the confidence he plays. And really on that play, Dalton Connect did a good job guarding the ball on the quicker Hill, and it was Ziegler that got clipped on the screen for Kane.
Amen to that. Now 9 points for Kane.
By the way, if you hadn't seen the program, you got to see the program. One of the great football movies of all time.
It's on the list.
If you know, you know.
Ziegler again doing work at the line, so he's now missed a few. He's 5 of 8, but he has Tennessee back within 2 possessions. We are inside of 5 minutes now, Dane. As you mentioned before, if you're Georgia,
got an injury down
it's
here.
Closeout time. Yeah, Georgia player is down.
I think that's Deloach. There was some contact there on the screens, and he fell to the ground pretty quickly. There's this little dribble handoff.
The play is under review.
Dalton.
The previous play is under review.
Officials timeout on the floor.
Absorbs the elbow there from Connect.
If they did not call a foul on the floor, they
Yeah.
can't just make this a foul. So to me, but if it does become a severe injury like this, even though it may look more like a basketball play busting through a screen, they could upgrade this one as well. We already saw the one flagrant against Josiah Jordan-James earlier in this game.
Jalen Deloach, junior from Savannah, Georgia. Started at VCU. This is his first year in Athens, and you just saw the motion from Doug Shows. So no common foul and no flagrant foul on that sequence. Just a maybe painful collision if you're Deloach.
Well, right now, Tennessee, it hadn't been pretty, but they've slowed this game down. They've gotten to the paint, they've gotten to the free throw line, and it's gotten Georgia just a little bit more out of rhythm. But Blue Kane has been able to bail them out with some timely threes. So Tennessee just must locate shooters and stop penetration, and it's hard to do both.
Dane, Georgia is 14 of 28 from beyond the arc.
Yeah.
Everything falling today.
And 9 of 14 in the second half. So that momentum they grasped to close the first half was immediately converted into the second half and carried over.
Basically trailed for all of the first. They have led for almost the entirety of the second. 4 to shoot. Hill blocked by Adu. I think that's block number 5 now. With nothing left on the timer, Melendez just had to hoist it. There's a turnover, and Tennessee gets it back.
But how good is Adu? I mean, him have to switch 1 through 5, guard the other point guard, and be able to have the instincts to block that shot is a really impressive play by Jonas Adu.
He's a basket away from a double-double, 5 blocks and 13 boards. Tennessee needs a response away from home. Connect on the drive. That's an aggressive take, and he lays it in with the left.
Getting downhill again. He's best off that 1 foot when he doesn't hesitate. He's got such a great stride too, and just glides to the rim.
That's 29, so he's a point away from a 30-piece. 5-second count had begun. Thomason calls the timeout. Georgia has led for much of this second. Tennessee right on its heels.
He can beat you from 3, he can beat you from mid-range, or he can beat you off the bounce. The way they rallied against Florida State early in this year, that was a turning point. They were down 17 with 7.5 to go, and they didn't flinch. They came back, and that's why you see this team believing so much, and it exudes confidence on the court.
Just saw Jabri's dad, Sharif Abdur-Rahim, the NBA All-Star. He's certainly appreciating this. And Dane, to your point, deficit today. Oh, that might be a double dribble.
Yeah.
Now there's a couple of players colliding. Chiwa had to give it up because he had taken the dribble, or had picked up his dribble. Ball back to Tennessee.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He didn't want to touch it here. He was afraid to get the double dribble, and Thomason tried to come over and save it, and just sloppy play. Look at the ball pressure where Georgia's trying to operate that offense at midcourt. That won't work.
Tennessee turning up the pressure. I got cut off a moment ago, but Tennessee led by as many as 14 in the first half. Nice roll in the basket. Little no-look feed to Adu.
Do not jump in the air on the pass unless you know what the heck you're doing. And Connect just looked off the entire defense, had him shifted. Hang time finds Adu.
So that's a double-double for Jonas Adu. 10 points, 13 boards, plus he's blocked 5 shots. Where does Georgia go? This is a 6-0 Tennessee run, so they are back within 1 possession. Jabri trying to go to work on Adu. Can't get past him. Nearly turned over. 3 seconds to shoot on the shot clock.
And you're seeing a little bit better one-on-one defense by Tennessee.
Georgia not only looking for a statement win, as you see at the bottom, over the 5th-ranked team in America. Also its first 3-0 start in a long time. Thomason has to hoist. That's strong. Meshak's got it. Abdur-Rahim ties him up. Possession arrow favors the Bulldogs.
That's a really good hustle play by Georgia that won't show up big in the stat sheet, causing a jump ball. But when time is of the essence, Abdur-Rahim gets on the deck. Georgia able to get another 20 seconds. See if they can't get a little bit more at the basket. Settling, operating their offense from so deep right now.
Tennessee needs a stop. 2:40 to go. 6 seconds to shoot. Tennessee hounding defense. They force the turnover and a foul on Chiwa.
That's Tennessee defense. Constant ball pressure, taking pride in your one-on-one matchup, and not needing help defense or causing any rotations. Check this ball pressure out here. Chiwa gonna operate up here, and Zakai Ziegler just busting through that dribble handoff. That was the problem right there. They did not want Melendez to have that ball on the perimeter. They wanted their point guard to have it, but Ziegler's pressure and physicality on Demery is what caused that mismatch.
That was impressive. So Connect, who is on the verge of a 30-point game, is at the line. Remember, Virginia and Wake Forest is coming up next. It has started on the app. And we will get you to that game when this one is over. Yeah, how about this, Dave? So back-to-back 25-point games. The latest falls to do it. Dalton Connect this week and Admiral Schofield during that championship-winning 18-19 season.
Admiral Schofield saying, y'all better watch your mouth drawing any comparisons to me, but Dalton Connect is earning it right now. This guy is an absolute elite scorer, and what he's been able to do on the road in clutch moments and just go about his business. Just love his offensive game.
So now Georgia needs a response because Tennessee on a 14-3 run to wipe away the double-digit lead. Foul on Vescovi. So that's just the 15th foul on Tennessee. It's the 4th on Vescovi.
Thomason just loves that left hand. He hesitates, he tries to probe, but if you can just keep sitting on that left hand and move your feet, you'll get him. And Vescovi that time just took a little bit of the bait, put his hands on him.
Tennessee was down 11 at the 6:25 mark, so in about 4 minutes, they have erased that deficit. This is Demery, the freshman, into the paint. He gets fouled, and Demery, I believe Shaw's reference that, was that in the act of shooting?
Yeah. What confidence by Mike White. When you need a bucket, he calls a horn set for the freshman point guard against one of the most elite defenders in the country. And Demery with that great size, 6'4", puts his head down, initiates the contact. Gotta love it.
One of the top 10 players coming out of the state of North Carolina. 4-star recruit who had an offer, by the way, from Tennessee. Chooses Georgia, and he has been Mike White's starting point guard all season. But he misses a critical one with 2:07 to go.
With about 5 minutes left, we talked about, especially at home, as you start to feel the crowd get tense, that's been on your side all game. When you're the underdog, pulling off the upset, the hardest part is the close. Right now, Georgia has to be the more composed team in this last 2 minutes, despite being the less experienced team.
Connect, rises, buries a 3. Tennessee back in front after being down much of the second half. Melendez attacks quickly and then chucks it back out to Thomason. Now the script is flipped. Georgia finds itself behind. Thomason spins, goes up with the left. Rebound Meshack.
That's why you send him back right. He fades to his right. Tough two. Well done by Tennessee.
The 5th-ranked Vols showing quite a bit of fortitude here on the heels of an 11-1 run to pull back in front. They've got it with 1:15 to go. Shot clock is dwindling. Connect. Pulls up in Melendez's grill. Rebound down to Adu. Demery's got it. 1:06 to go. Georgia has a couple of timeouts. Down 2. Demery on the attack. Knifes in. Rebound down to Adu. He affected the shot with a wipeout. Couple of players fall. And the call is Georgia basketball. Although Chuck Jones signaled that we can go to the monitor here to review.
Keep an eye on Vescovi. He gets a shove in the back there. That Vescovi's like, hey, what the heck? I'm getting good position. Guys are battling for that ball. They're going to see who the ball went out on. They're not going to review that push in the back, but we'll hear with the new talk-to-talk access.
The previous play is under review.
And we're looking at possession right here. Deloach was going for it. The initial ruling is last touch by Tennessee. Watch right here. And watch the ruling right here. So it was initially ruled Georgia basketball.
Yeah, first glance, it looks like Deloach is the one that causes that ball. Ziegler certainly reaching for it, but the change of direction of the ball.
Right there.
Yeah, I think that's off Georgia, Tennessee ball. And it's got to be, 100% conviction to overturn this.
I wouldn't be surprised if this one does get overturned and give it back to Tennessee. And then if that happens, now we're inside of a minute with Georgia down a pair. As it stands right now, they think they've got a fresh shot clock. Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Fingertips.
I think that's Tennessee basketball. And if you're Georgia, you certainly want the ball, but right before that, I thought they got away with a big push in the back.
After further review, the ball is Tennessee's.
They reverse it. Tennessee takes over, and so now Mike White, the tenor in that huddle, changes a bit, because now you're back on defense. You're down 2, and the opposition has it here with 56.6 to go.
Well, Tennessee has not played a complete game, but you have to credit the resiliency they've shown. We talked about it earlier, that this is why you have the culture you do with the veteran guys returning and that winning DNA at Tennessee and the way they've been able to fight back on the road. Now all of a sudden, can they play with the lead? It's easy to be aggressive when you're down, but how can you be aggressive and opportunistic when you have the lead and understand time and score? I know this, keep getting 3 and orange the ball. Dalton Connect, either as a passer or as a scorer, good things are happening when he has it.
And he's got 34 points, 12 of 20 from the floor. He has knifed into the paint easily in this second half. There's pressure, though, in the backcourt. 53 seconds to go. Georgia lost an 11-point lead a few minutes ago. Finds itself down. Does it have enough to get back and spring an upset? Melendez is right up there on Connect, and Deloche is whistled for the reach-in.
Well,
so
Rick
that's
Barnes,
2 free throws for Connect.
Rick Barnes wanted to foul early, and I get letting him play physical, but Melendez, you gotta love how he's embracing the challenge. But hand check all over Connect, being physical, that's what you have to do against a Tennessee team. But then Georgia just a little too aggressive on that double team. Rick Barnes still chirping, saying, watch the hand checks.
Dalton Connect, one of the SEC's finest scorers in his first season in Knoxville.
I'm not a bet man, but I think you're looking at the SEC Player of the Week in Dalton Connect after what he did at Mississippi State. Now here in Athens, this guy is an unbelievable scorer, and this is why he was brought to Tennessee.
It's a 60-plus point week. 36, that's 2 off of, making 1 off his career high. Tennessee in front by 2 scores. 36 seconds. Georgia doesn't have that much time to waste. Demery to Abdur-Rahim, gets free. That's down and out. Tap back up. Deloche got his hands on it. Connect now gathers. Ball still free. Abdur-Rahim. No. Adu with another board. Out to Ziegler. Georgia just has to foul now. The Bulldogs get a couple of clean looks. Tennessee dodges a couple bullets. And Ziegler perhaps at the line to now just ice it with 16 seconds to go.
Yeah, Abdur-Rahim, 41% on the year from 3 and has had an exceptional second half. 2 really good looks, one off the set play call and then off the offensive rebound. It's the best time to get another clean look. And that's what you want right there. Front rim. And Tennessee, once they decided, quit swinging the ball around the perimeter, put your head down, get to the rim, get to the free throw line. They made this game uglier, more physical, and that is what brought them back on the road.
For a long time, Georgia had that free throw advantage. And to your point now, Tennessee in this second half, 13 of 18 at the line. Boy, Ziegler was huge. Listen, Adu defensively was fantastic at times. And so if there's the only bit of good news, if you will, for Georgia is that, look, it's still a 2-possession game, even with the free throws.
Yeah, how about Adu? 10 points, 15 boards, 5 blocks. Certainly the unsung hero, as Dalton Connect was a star on the offensive end.
What a run for Tennessee. 13 seconds. Georgia has got to get a shot up quick, and it has to be the 3 here. Thomason, contested triple. It's short. Over to Kane. 5 seconds. No. And it's not going to be enough time here. Horn sounds. Tennessee survives after falling behind by 11. With 6 minutes to go, Tennessee ends the game on a 21-4 run.
That's a culture and experience win right there on the road. Big-time performance by Dalton Connect. World, if you don't know, now you know number 3 is for real.